walk like an Egyptian.
Hey folks, Crazy Glamour 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 13 in our 20 from 1986 series. This is a really weird game, but I kind of like the weird factor in it. You're a spiky-haired young ninja using a spinning sword to attack enemies, trying to rescue Princess Margot, and this is called Kid Niki Radical Ninja. And this was released by Irem and licensed to Data East. You have an 8-way joystick and a jump and a sword button. And I remember seeing this, I think, only once in arcades. Actually, it was not at an arcade, it was at a 7-Eleven. But this has all sorts of weird enemies. This, like I said, this has you with a spinning sword, and the sword just kind of spins in place. There's nothing really special about it. You just hit the enemies with it. And there's some power-ups you might be able to collect once in a while. But just the general vibe of this game is really weird. It starts out at ninja school, and a bird gets killed by a spear, and then it says, "We'll help you," or an arrow. Whatever. But I like the weird factor of this game. There are boss fights once you get far enough into a level, and you will see a number at the bottom that states how many parts left of the level there are before you get to the boss. Excuse me. And I think there are generally 3 places that you can start your next life on when you die in a stage. And that's the beginning, partway through, and where the boss is. Note that there are these pantomime mask wearing enemies in blue and red. The red ones are a little more dangerous because they can hop around and they can throw objects at you if you don't tend to them right away. And there are also birds with glasses. This is our first boss, and his name is Death Breath, and he's painfully easy. Back away when he tries to hit you with his giant head, and then spin your sword under his feet when he jumps. If he gets close to you, he can blow his breath at you. And despite his name Death Breath, the breath doesn't kill you, it just pushes you away. But that's how you beat Death Breath, and you get points for time remaining. And this is round 2. And his name is Spike. And we have this very rocky area. This is the first power-up you can get. If you can kill a whole bunch of birds at once, you can get this special flying sword extension of your sword, and you can fire it at enemies, but it has a limited life, and you see this power meter at the top. And now my power up is out. And there's guys in the trees that try to throw weapons at you. Now we have these birds that will drop coins when you kill them. And the coins are 500 points apiece, which is pretty nice. Keep that in mind because the only time you can get an extra life is at 50,000 points. Kind of like Irem's earlier Kung Fu Master. Not always will the birds drop the power-up. I mean, will that be the only way you can get a power-up? Now this is Spike. If you try to hit his ball, then you'll lose your sword and you have to go back and get it. Now the way to kill this guy is to jump over him when he comes to the side, and then watch out for that blade that he throws. So jump over it and get a good whack on him. and then go over to this ledge and then jump over him and turn around and hit him, but watch out for that spike thing that he throws. Yeah, the first two bosses are really quite easy. And now we go to the Land of the Cliffs, and there will be clouds that you need to jump on. And there will be these weird guys that look like they might be in lederhosen that push these boulders at you. You do not have to deal with them, you can just jump right over them. But you get extra points if you destroy their boulder and then them. And there's those birds with glasses. But these cloud platforms will hop up and down. Watch out going across there. You could be deposited right on top of a bird to kill you. Of course, if you fall in the abyss, you're dead. And that bird is another group of birds that I could get a power-up from. Crap. But I think there's only two types. One of the biggest pains in the butt is that kite ninja. Ooh, and even though there was just one, he gave me the flying sword extension. Useful for pushing those boulder enemies backwards. This was ported to the NES, and it was fantastic, I think. I really enjoyed it. But the kite ninjas are one of the biggest pains in the butt in this whole game. Them and I think they're like samurai ducks that we'll see later on. Such weird enemies, but I really like the weird feel of this game. Kid Niki is yellow in this game, and in the NES port he is red. But we are going to face the Stage 3 boss, the Horned Witch, and she is quite easy if you know where she's going to land. And note that she splits into different enemies, smaller enemies. When she is in her last form, little tiny ones that you didn't get to see because I slashed them too quickly, they can't hurt you. But just keep slashing until her little ones are all dead. And now we go to round 4. Now this one can be tough. These bats that hang from the stalactites, you need to, it's probably a good idea to back away and then turn around and slash them. I mean, sometimes you can jump forward and just slash and you'll be able to take them out, but it's probably a better idea to back off and then turn around and slash as they come towards you. Or they might go off screen and they might be gone. But that's the best way to deal with them. And now we have these frogs that spit fire. Weird. You do not have much time to close in after the flame dissipates, so you gotta hurry and kill them. There will also be some that are not facing towards you, like this guy. And as you come close, then he turns around and says, psych. That is the best way to deal with the bats. And now we are coming towards the lake, and there will be platforms that you got to jump across, and there will be these guys that spit these bubbles, and the bubbles can have kind of herky-jerky patterns sometimes, so you got to watch out. And some of the platforms will sink, rise and sink, and you got to jump across and kill those. I'm not sure what the hell those are. Now we deal with the boss, and he is the, as they call him, the Groat Green Grub. And I don't think Groat is a word. But he is this giant worm, or something that you need to hit him as many times as you can as he goes by on his body parts and the exposed bone. Sometimes if you're at the far left or far right, he can still reach you. Gotta watch out for that, and don't stand where he's coming out of the ground or you'll get killed. It's hard to finish off this guy. Ooh, that was close. Note that you have to go back and get your sword every time it flies off of an enemy. But it's hard to kill him in time. But you have to kill all his body parts, and then you have to hit his head like 3 times, I think. Once he's got bone exposed, you can't hit that bone. But yeah, you need to hit all his body parts and then his head. See, I think I had one more body part behind his head that I needed to hit. And I'm gonna die because I'm running out of time. So we'll face him again. Fortunately, you start right where he is. And again, anytime you hit the boss, your sword will fly away. Yeah, he just missed me there, but don't count on him to always miss you when you're in the left or right edge. But you need to keep hitting all his body parts. Woohoo, that was close. And then hit his head. Once you hear him go bah when you're hitting his head, then you'll know you've destroyed all the body parts. But if you just hear it go cling, then you still need to hit body parts. Yeah, you'll hear a warning sound when you're just about out of time. Yeah, the timer can be one of the biggest pains in the butt in this game. There now, if I can quickly hit his head enough times, and when you do hit his head after hitting all the body parts, he will not keep moving forward towards you. He will spin in a circle and get away. And all the body parts land on the ground. Skeletal parts. Now we are on round 5, and we go to the land of the Mad Monks, and I hate this part. These are the samurai ducks. I think they're samurai ducks. And they just keep frickin' coming. You don't get much opportunity to move forward, so you just gotta keep wheeling on the sword. And this part, you can't really see where you can drop down sometimes. So you can see the samurai go into that little area. And I have to drop down in there a little bit. And I drop right on a samurai. Yeah, contact with any enemy or their projectiles is instantly fatal to Kid Niki. Yeah, the full name of this game is Kid Niki Radical Ninja. Your goal in this game is to reach the final level and kill the Stone Wizard. And he's called the Stone Wizard because he can turn things to stone, and he decided to turn Princess Margot to stone. Ah, crap! Well, that is my game of Kid Niki Radical Ninja. You can continue, and I think you start at the beginning of the round that you left off of. But you get to put in your initials. Yeah, if you've never played the NES version, it's got lesser music and sound effects and graphics, but it is still a lot of fun. We'll take a brief look at that later. That's Kid Niki Radical Ninja, and now we're going to, in just a moment, we're going to pick up where I left off with Invincibility Cheat. And we'll see, at the very least, snippets of the remainder of the levels. And there are 8 levels, or rounds. And we'll pick up where I left off on round 5. But again, just to see how far you are in the game, those might be beehives or something, I'm not sure. You can see the number at the bottom, and it goes down the further you get. And once it's at 1, then you're at the end of the round. But this has got giant Buddha statues, flying bees with arrows, and monks. And the monks can throw killer beads at you for some reason. Killer bead necklaces. And let me waste this bee real quick, and then I'll face the mad monk. And this guy is funny. You can stand on that little pedestal and attack him, but he can attack you with word balloons. And I'm not sure what he's saying there. If you back way off, then he will start to say "fool," and little letters will attack you, or maybe Japanese characters, I'm not sure. But if you hit him, like, I think 4 times, then he'll start sicking his monks at you, and you just need to hit him one more time. And he turns into stone. And now we're going to go to round 6, and the samurai guard is the boss at the end here. I like that they show you a preview of the boss that you're going to face on that round, and more killer ninja kites. I like those acrobat guys. They will stand on each other's shoulders. And will I be able to get that? Ah, damn it. I could have gotten one of the... I think there's just the 2 power-ups. The one we already saw, which makes your makes an extension of your sword fly forward. And they're just doing acrobats, or doing somersaults. The other one is a protective spinning shield, although it's really quite useless. Enemies can get right through it, no problem. But it can hit enemies. We'll look at that later. And now here is the samurai guard. He is really quite easy. Just get close enough so that he stops and starts to plant his spear, and then back off, and then jump and slash him in the head. If you hit his spear with your sword, it'll knock your sword back and his spear back, and you both have to go back and get your weapon. And know that you collect a scroll after beating the boss. That'll officially end the round, and you'll collect bonus points for time remaining. And we are going to face the Stone Wizard at the end of this level, but he will get away after you beat him. And then you will have round 8 taking place on Rooftops, trying to finish off the Stone Wizard, and he has a bunch of different forms. We'll get to that in a minute. And there is the second power-up, a spinning ball. But yeah, see, enemies can get right through. Yeah, I've got invincibility here. Invincibility cheat, so I can finish the game. There's more samurai ducks. I think that's what they are, but they are a pain in the butt on round 5. And more fire-breathing frogs. And now here we are going to face the Stone Wizard. And he's got Princess Margot in front of him and turned into stone. If you hit her, it knocks your sword backwards. So try to get past her and hit the Stone Wizard. And he spits fireballs that, if you pay attention, you can kind of figure out where they're going to land, and you can stand so that they don't hit you. And now we go to the Rooftops for round 8. And it says you have trapped the wizard. Now finish him off. Yeah, we're going to look at snippets of this stage. Yeah, and you face numerous forms of him. And sometimes they take 2 hits, sometimes they take more. The boss of a stage usually takes 3 to 5 hits. There will be moving clouds that you have to jump across to. And I don't know what the hell these spheres are, but without invincibility, I'd probably be in big frickin' trouble, because they're moving real fast. But you gotta hop on these cloud platforms, jump across to the next roof, and there's more kite ninjas. And that looks like we're gonna have our final fight with the stone wizard. That little flying head your sword will bounce off of. And the wizard does not want you to hit him here. He'll try to turn back to the head that you can't kill when you get close. But yeah, when you hit an enemy, I don't know what it is about the enemy's skin, but it's so thick that your sword will bounce right off of them. And here is the ending to Kid Niki Radical Ninja. The stone wizard falls off the roof, and Kid Niki lands on him. Congratulations, Kid Niki. You made it. You defeated the stone wizard. And again, this was ported to the NES, and it's a fantastic port. I really enjoyed it. I used to have that. Kid Niki looks a little different. He's red in the NES version. That is Kid Niki Radical Ninja, and I'm going to put in my initials here. Very, very weird game, but it's weird in a way that I enjoy. And there is the NES box. Yeah, this was licensed to Data East, but created by Irem, the arcade original. And here is a look at the NES version. There are secret areas. This is the thing I like most about the NES version. You can spin your sword and move in certain ways, or maybe crouch for a few seconds or something. And you can uncover secret areas, and you can collect bonus items in them. The best bonus item to collect is not the scroll or the coin that gives you money, but that icon. That will give you one free hit. You can get touched by the enemy and not die. Definitely try to collect that. That's the NES version. Not as good of graphics or music or effects or whatever, but it's still great fun. Well, that was Kid Niki Radical Ninja, created by Irem and licensed to Data East in 1986. Game number 13 in our 20 from 1986 series. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope you join me for game number 12. Bye-bye, everybody.